You're watching Barnstable this morning, and joining me now for our latest community profile is Brittany Quaglieri. She is the program specialist for Americorps Cape Cod.
Yes, hi.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited to talk about this because you guys really help run the day of service here on the Cape. And really, I was doing some research. In 1994, apparently, is when Congress passed making the MLK Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the day of service. So let's talk about your program and how you really institute that here locally.
Okay, so that was actually in my notes to mention that Americorps was charged with running, basically, MLK Day since its inception. Like, they became... MLK Day became a national service day around the same time that Americorps was signed in. President Clinton signed it in like 1993. So it was about the same time, and Congress charged Americorps with running it. And so here on the Cape, we plan an event every year. Probably pretty much from the beginning. Our program started in 1999, and so probably either from year one or year two, we've been actively recruiting community volunteers to do a variety of things. And actually, MLK Day is the one day of the year that we can do service outside of our focus areas, because MLK Day is for, social change, and our program is for environmental remediation and disaster response, mostly.
Interesting. So this really is an opportunity for you guys to sort of branch out there and help other aspects of the community.
Yeah.
How do you choose what areas to focus on and where you want to put the help?
It's sometimes really hard to choose because there's so much we could do. We try to do different areas of the Cape, because we're a Cape-wide program, the whole county. So we usually apply for funding through the Massachusetts Service Alliance. They will give us a grant for $4,500 if they approve our project. And then the county will match that money, $4,500. So then we have $9,000 to work with to buy supplies or mostly supplies, I guess. I won't get into those details. So
it's so interesting to me because it's so hard, I think, for people to sometimes find the time to give back. And I feel like MLK Day is a really good day because so many people, it is a federal holiday, so many people have the day off. It's a really good opportunity, I think, for people to sort of branch out and maybe take the opportunity to volunteer in a different way than they have before, or maybe they haven't volunteered before.
Right. We get a lot of repeat volunteers, but we do branch out, and we always contact schools, school clubs like Key Clubs or Lion Clubs, or Girl Scout troops are always volunteering. Senior outing groups or senior volunteer groups are a good target for us.
And so what is your project for this year?
So this year we are doing a variety of things because we get between 150 and 200 volunteers. So
that's a good turnout.
Yeah, it's huge. It's probably one of our biggest one-day events. And it has to be planned for indoors only, because we never know what the weather is going to be like in the middle of January. So it's hard to find the projects for that many people and have it be of substance and have them walk away feeling like they did something meaningful. So usually what we do is we have a whole bunch of things going on. So this year, we decided to make no-sew fleece blankets and then figure out who they were going to go to. So we just cold called a bunch of organizations that, first we started with organizations that provide services to children, and then we moved on to parents, like families, like parents and children, and then we went to seniors and veterans, those demographics.
And did you get a pretty good response back of organizations looking for that type of
Pretty
thing?
good, yeah. I think we have 4 or 5 different organizations that we're going to be donating to. And to make sure that there was enough work for volunteers to do, we decided to also make other types of gifts just for fun, like to brighten people's days or provide just something, you know.
Like a little bit of hope, a little bit of
cheer. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm
trying
to lift spirits, that's what I'm trying to say. So we're also making items like gifts out of recyclable materials, because that's one of our focuses around the Cape, is teaching people that what they can recycle and how to do it. So to incorporate that, we're going to make bird feeders out of plastic bottles,
awesome.
Jump ropes for little kids out of plastic bags, and planters out of tin cans, just to give as gifts.
That is so neat, so cool. So tell me a little bit about if someone's watching right now and saying, you know, I've never even thought about MLK Service Day. I've always just taken it as a day off. This year I want to give back, I want to take part. How can they learn more about where to go and what time and all of that stuff? Or maybe even let you know they're coming?
Well, they could go to our website. All the information is on there. Our members created a great blog post all about it with everything they need to know. So they can go there first, our website. And then we're pretty active on Facebook. If you're also active on Facebook, you can like us, and you'll know all of our volunteer events. We'll always put them there. And then you can call me or email me, and I'll let you know all the details.
Awesome. And then one thing I wanted to ask you too, I noticed I was reading your website, and I did notice you were asking individuals who are volunteering to also bring a little bit of food with them. So food that isn't going to go bad. Why are you doing that?
Okay, so when we originally started planning the day, we had hoped that student groups, like student clubs at Barnstable High School, would be on board to plan a big school-wide drive. But they have a lot going on, so they declined, unfortunately. So we're just going to ask willing volunteers if they can just bring like a can of vegetables or some other non-perishable item. And then the following day, we're going to bring all that food to, I think it's called the Cape and Islands Veterans Outreach Center in Hyannis.
Wonderful. So really cool to know that all of this work is going to go to all of these local organizations that are really going to help people here all across Cape Cod.
Yeah.
That must be a pretty good feeling for you. I know it's a lot of work, but you must get a little bit out of that to feel like you're really helping out the community.
I do. I grew up on the Cape, actually in Hyannis, and I lived away from here for a long time and came back. And so I actually grew up using some of the services that we're providing for. So that feels like really great to give back. And in my position, I teach Americorps members how to plan these kind of events and think about the need in the community and how they can make a difference.
So cool, and love seeing everyone get together, because we all know many hands make light work.
Yes.
So wonderful to see what you're doing. Can't wait to help out on MLK Day of Service. Thank you so much for telling us all about what Americorps Cape Cod is doing to help the effort.
Thank you. Yeah.
And of course, Brittany Quaglieri is the program specialist for Americorps Cape Cod. For Barnstable This Morning, I'm Sarah Mantle.